And what up, everybody? Welcome back to Feral Publications YouTube channel. On this channel, we talk about zines and DIY publishing. Today, we're going to take a look through the second era of the Feral Comics, the Comicbook Zine Anthology that I published. If you are interested in this anthology, go ahead and watch this video real quick. Feral Comics is the Comicbook Zine Anthology that I published. This is filled with underground subversive comics by different cartoonists from all kinds of places. We are always looking for new contributors and do pay for contributions. Also, new readership, $20 for 1 year subscription or $3 for an issue. And there you have it, you guys. If you're interested in contributing, go ahead and send me a email. And if you're interested in subscribing to the project, go ahead and hit the link in the show notes. So we're looking at the second iteration, which had 6 issues. So we're going to go ahead and break them up into 3x3s. So today we're going to be looking at issue number 6, issue number 7, and issue number 8. Issue number 6. This is finally when I stopped what I was doing in the first iteration, which was color coded and then just kind of like this graffiti in the front. And I finally realized, like, hey, you know what? This doesn't look as cool as I think it looks. So that was the end of that. So then it went into this, straight up black and white cover, black and white back. And this issue, is when I really started trying just to add more. I was really trying to get rid of any dead space. As you can see here with this kind of stuff. And this issue had the intro, which most of them had. But you had the 33 tenor, Screen Idol, and then me. And Screen Idol and the homie 32 tenor came through with some really dope shit. This is part 3 to his saga, The Search. This is when she has her baby. And then they're trying to take away the baby and they fucking just bust out. Because they're not going to let homegirl lose her kid. So I definitely dug this story. And this is the homie from UK, My Screen Idol. I saw this artwork and I fucking loved it, man. And he's doing great shit. He's publishing his own little comic book magazine out there in the UK. You guys should definitely check it out. And then this is mine's You Sir Are Not a Chef by Rich. And this is just, me leaning into my style, my busybodiness of like all this cross-hatching, all this madness going on that doesn't necessarily need to make sense, but it looks cool, right? I think this is when I read cartoonists that I like talking about how it doesn't have to make sense, but it just has to not be boring. And so I started doing a lot of like these doodles and things and trying to create these characters that just looked fun and interesting to look at. And this story actually had a lot to do with something I was going through in one day where, I used to be a manager for 5 restaurants for a casino. And we had a customer, man, that was just so obnoxious and stupid. And he swore to God that he was a chef, and he was just not. And then basically he disrespects the chef, and the chef murders him. And that was it for this issue. And then lastly I put this. Wanted. Hey kids, want to go to heaven? Man claiming to be God, luring people to church with the promise of eternal life, shooting them up with that thing. This was the next issue and I really liked this one. One of the things that I really changed was I changed the paper quality. Like if you looked at this issue, the paper quality is the same from page to page, even for the cover. But this is where I realized, and so then I had one that was cardstock and then one that was just 28 pounds white. So in this issue you had one from me called Fuck Your Spectator Democracy, which was presidential debate. That's how I draw Biden. That's your boy Trump. And it's literally just like all this stupid shit that led to a bunch of nothing. And then me and my wife, and we're like, why are we watching this? And I'm like, because, Linda, we need to know the facts so we can make an informed decision on November 4th. Those presidential debates definitely feel like a waste of time. And this is an artist that I was really happy to publish. She was coming out of Singapore. And like I said, like for me, sometimes there's just a joy and a pleasure in publishing art from around the world. And so I definitely was happy to give this artist the space. And she actually had 2 little pinups that she did here, which was a fine way to break it up. And then we had one from Mr. Ink Bottle in passing. This one is super dope about him losing a friend and realizing that his friend died a long time ago and feeling kind of weird about it. And then I have a Batman spoof called Late One Night, and it's just about this absurd dynamic that they have, that Alfred and Bruce Wayne are family. Because I can't imagine somebody wanting to be in a formal tux. And so in this one, he asks Batman basically, can he just stop wearing, his uniform? I like to wear my own personal clothing. To which Batman just fucking flips out, right? So he's like, so what, Alfred? We just throw out law and order? We forget about tradition? Never. Yeah, because that whole Alfred and Batman dynamic is just absurd to me. And then here goes one that I did lastly. Are you mad about migrants taking your job? Well, if you are, you should know I'm from space, came to Earth, and took your fucking job. What do you want to do? It's one of those things that I don't think people realize, that Superman is basically a story for immigrants. Migrated to Earth from a different planet in order to have opportunity and to succeed. And in doing so, always has to live kind of a double life of, being American, but also being Kryptonian. And I don't think people realize that that's a heavy metaphor for immigration. So I think Superman is one of those characters that just have never really had a good writer to really put him to, to the max. And then lastly, today we're going to look at Feral Comics issue number 8. I like this one. This one is where the homie Brian joins me, and Brian created this collage. And it was also very reminiscent for me, because Superhero Kim was the first zine that I published as an adult. I published more as a young man, but once Feral Comics came out, that was the first comic I ever published, Superhero Kim issue number 1. And so this is me going back to the Superhero Kim well and doing a Superhero Kim story. And so it's Bus Stop, Superhero Kim story by me, and then Comic Shop Encounter, My Greatest Mistake, Eye Doctor, and Ghoul by Brian Judge. And so then here we go, The Adventures of Superhero Kim. Like I said, a lot more. I'm leaning more into that busybody style that I'm definitely digging. And this is just about some fucking creep bothering a young lady in the bus stop. The bus isn't there on time, so it's starting to get a little weird and creepy because the guy keeps trying to make advances towards her. And eventually the guy loses his shit. Right? As we know guys tend to do. And the gal's scared because no one's around. And Superhero Kim comes out of nowhere. I definitely dig the way I drew this guy's head popping out, that neck coming out. Boom, that boot to the face with the lumps everywhere. I dig this comic. I think it was a solid return for Superhero Kim. Can't wait to do the next one. Definitely was working on a larger one that I might break up and just put into the Feral Comics issues. And then Brian had some diary comics, where there's a lot of people that have done diary comics, but not necessarily in such a structured format. But definitely fun. And I definitely dug this Ghoul art. This is what I'm talking about, like that busybody art style like mine's, where doesn't always make sense, but damn it if it's not just fucking fun to watch. And then lastly, I just had this walking into 2021. Me and a horse, but I draw horses a lot better, so I don't even think you can really call that a horse. And then this picture right here, me with the first person that ever bought an issue from Feral Publication. So there you have it, you guys. We got issue number 6, 7, and number 8. Thank you for watching. Go ahead, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon. Lates.